It was the kind of day that makes you believe in simple joys. The California sun poured down on the small town of Rancho Tehama Reserve. Birds sang, children laughed, and life seemed to unfold at a peaceful rhythm. But on that seemingly ordinary afternoon in 1986, the world shifted for the Cooper family. Their daughter, 12-year-old April, vanished. April Cooper, a bright-eyed girl with a contagious laugh, was last seen riding her bicycle. She was a wisp of a girl, her blonde hair catching the sun as she rode. She was on her way home, a familiar route that wound through the heart of their quiet community. But April never made it home. The sun set, shadows grew long, and fear began to creep in. The search began, frantic and desperate. A Rancho Tehama Reserve was the kind of place where everyone knew your name. It was a tapestry woven from close-knit families, shared dreams, and the comforting rhythm of rural life. Children played freely, their laughter echoing through the streets. Neighbors looked out for each other, their lives intertwined in a comforting embrace. Nestled amidst the rolling hills of Northern California, the town was a sanctuary. The Coopers were a pillar of this close-knit community, their home a haven of warmth and laughter. April, with her infectious energy and kind heart, embodied the spirit of Rancho Tehama Reserve. Her disappearance struck at the very heart of the town, leaving an unfillable void in its wake. The disappearance of April Cooper shattered the tranquility of Rancho Tehama Reserve. The news spread like wildfire, igniting a maelstrom of fear and disbelief. The idyllic facade of their small-town life crumbled, revealing a chilling truth. Danger could lurk even in the most unexpected corners. The community, once a symphony of familiar faces and warm greetings, transformed into a tableau of anxiety and suspicion. Neighbors, once quick to offer a helping hand, now eyed each other with a mixture of concern and apprehension. The search for April became the town's singular focus. Flyers bearing April's innocent smile appeared on every available surface, a constant reminder of the young life that hung in the balance. The community, united by grief and a shared sense of urgency, refused to let April fade into obscurity. As weeks turned into months, the investigation into April's disappearance grew colder. Leads ran dry, tips dwindled, and the trail seemed to vanish into thin air. The lack of answers gnawed at the edges of hope, fueling a simmering undercurrent of frustration and suspicion. Whispers of doubt circulated through the town, casting long shadows over once familiar faces. Every stranger, every unusual occurrence became a potential clue, scrutinized under the microscope of fear and uncertainty. Could the perpetrator be lurking among them, hiding in plain sight? The thought sent shivers down spines and planted seeds of distrust in the hearts of even the most trusting souls. The once unthinkable had become a haunting reality, casting a pall over the town and its residents. The disappearance of April Cooper transcended the borders of Rancho Tehama Reserve, capturing the attention of a nation. Newspapers splashed her story across front pages, her bright smile staring out from newsstands across the country. Television screens flickered with images of her, her name whispered with a mix of empathy and dread. America, captivated by the mystery and moved by the plight of the Coopers, held its breath. Parents hugged their children tighter, their hearts aching for the unimaginable grief that had befallen the Cooper family. Strangers, united by a shared sense of humanity, offered prayers and sent messages of support. The nation watched and waited, hoping against hope for a miracle, for the safe return of the missing girl with the captivating smile. Years turned into decades, seasons changed, yet the absence of April Cooper remained a gaping wound in the heart of Rancho Tehama Reserve. Time, often touted as a healer, seemed to have little effect on the raw grief that lingered in the air. The town, forever marked by the tragedy, bore the weight of its loss with quiet dignity. The Coopers, their lives irrevocably altered, navigated a world shrouded in perpetual sadness. They held on to the fragments of memories, the echoes of her laughter, the warmth of her embrace, clinging to them as a lifeline in a sea of uncertainty. Candlelight vigils, held on the anniversary of her disappearance, became a solemn tradition, a testament to the enduring power of hope and the refusal to let her story fade into obscurity. April's case, though unsolved, served as a constant reminder of the preciousness of life and the importance of cherishing every moment. In a cruel twist of fate, a glimmer of hope emerged from the shadows of the past. Decades after April's disappearance, a man came forward with a bone-chilling confession. He claimed to possess knowledge about the case, a secret that had haunted him for years, a secret that pointed to a familiar face, his own father, James Bannister. Bannister, a quiet resident of Rancho Tehama Reserve, had always been a shadowy figure. His son's confession, delivered with trepidation and remorse, painted a horrifying picture, alleging Bannister's involvement in April's disappearance. The revelation sent shockwaves through the community, shattering the fragile peace. Neighbors struggled to reconcile the man they thought they knew with the monstrous acts he was accused of. The confession cracked open the case, altering Rancho Tehama Reserve forever. Fueled by renewed hope and a thirst for justice, law enforcement launched a full-scale investigation into James Bannister. Armed with the son's chilling testimony and a determination to uncover the truth, they meticulously pieced together the puzzle of April's disappearance. Forensic teams descended upon Bannister's property, their every move scrutinized by a community holding its breath. The once peaceful landscape transformed into a scene of grim determination as investigators, armed with shovels and cadaver dogs, searched for any trace of April. Evidence, long buried beneath layers of deceit and time, began to surface, pointing towards Bannister's involvement in April's disappearance. The pieces of the puzzle, though scattered and incomplete, began to form a horrifying picture, confirming the darkest fears of a community scarred by loss. The trial of James Bannister was a media spectacle, drawing attention from across the nation. The courtroom became a battleground of emotions, where grief, anger, and a desperate yearning for justice collided. The prosecution, armed with a mountain of circumstantial evidence and the chilling testimony of Bannister's own son, presented a compelling case, painting him as a monster who had preyed upon the innocence of a child. The defense, faced with an uphill battle, attempted to cast doubt on the prosecution's narrative, highlighting the lack of DNA evidence directly linking Bannister to the crime. The jury, tasked with the unenviable responsibility of sifting through the evidence and delivering a verdict, faced an agonizing decision. After days of deliberation, they reached a decision. The guilty verdict reverberated through the courtroom, sending a collective gasp through the crowd. James Bannister, once a shadowy figure, was unmasked as a predator, his crimes finally catching up with him. April's story, a stark reminder of the vulnerability of innocence, served as a catalyst for change. It ignited a nationwide conversation about child safety, prompting communities to reevaluate their security measures. The case highlighted the importance of community vigilance and looking out for one another. April's legacy, though intertwined with tragedy, became a beacon of hope and a force for positive change. Though justice had been served, the scars of April Cooper's disappearance ran deep, a permanent reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of loss. Rancho Tehama Reserve, forever changed by the events of that fateful day, emerged from the shadow of tragedy with a renewed sense of purpose, a shared commitment to honoring April's memory by safeguarding its children and cherishing the precious gift of life. April's story, though rooted in darkness, became a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. It highlighted the importance of community, the unwavering love of family, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. Her memory lived on, not only in the hearts of those who loved her, but in the countless lives touched by her story. The legacy of April Cooper extended far beyond the borders of Rancho Tehama Reserve, serving as a poignant reminder that the fight for justice, for the protection of innocence, is a shared responsibility.